afternoon, Southwest Florida. I'm Bri Walling. This Naples Herald Lunch Break is sponsored by our friends at Fusillo Kia of Cape Coral. This afternoon, we'll tell you about a pharmacist's role in the worst public health crisis in recent U.S. history, a rare lunar trifecta seen around the world, and more. Today is Thursday, February 1st, and this is the Lunch Break. Glen, the pharmacist convicted in connection with a deadly 2012 meningitis outbreak, was sentenced to 8 years in prison on Wednesday after he tearfully apologized to the victims for pain and suffering they endured. The outbreak killed 76 people and nearly 800 people were made sick in what's considered the worst public health crisis in recent U.S. history. The meningitis infection was traced to contaminated steroid injections given mostly to people with back pain. Throughout Chin's trial, prosecutors portrayed him as a callous employee who cut corners and ignored warning signs that the pharmacy's production methods were unsafe in order to boost production and profits. Prosecutors wanted a 35-year sentence for Chin, pointing to the devastating impact the outbreak had on families across the country. Chin's lawyers asked for about 3 years behind bars. He was cleared in October of second-degree murder under federal racketeering law, and Chin's attorney argued that he didn't deserve more time behind bars than the pharmacy's co-founder Bri Walling, who's serving a 9-year sentence for his role in the outbreak. Jurors also acquitted Cadden of second-degree murder under the federal racketeering law, but found him guilty of fraud and conspiracy. Chin had been charged with the deaths of 25 people in Florida, Indiana, Maryland, Michigan, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. He would have faced up to life in prison if he'd been convicted of the murders. The moon put on a rare cosmic show Wednesday, a red-blue moon super big and super bright. It's the first time in 35 years a blue moon has synced up with a supermoon and a total lunar eclipse, or a blood moon, because of its red hue. Hawaii and Alaska had the best seats for the show, along with the Canadian Yukon, Australia, and Asia. The western U.S. also had good viewing, along with Russia. The U.S. East Coast, Europe, and most of South America and Africa were out of luck to see the total eclipse. At Cape Canaveral, Florida, where a rocket delivered America's first satellite into orbit exactly 60 years ago, the blue supermoon made for some spectacular photos nonetheless. The second full moon in a calendar month is a blue moon. This one also happened to be an especially close and bright moon, or supermoon. Add a total eclipse known as a blood moon for its red tint, and it was a lunar showstopper. NASA called it a lunar trifecta, the first super blue blood moon since 1982. That combination won't happen again until 2037. For those looking ahead, the next supermoon is in February, the next blue moon is in March, and the next total lunar eclipse is in July. Trump said during his State of the Union speech that he has a plan that will permanently fix the infrastructure deficit. But when President Trump called for a $1.5 trillion infrastructure investment in his address, he didn't pledge that the federal government actually would provide the money for the roads, bridges, rails, and waterways. Trump's plan actually counts on state and local governments working with private investors to come up with much of the cash. Exactly how that would work remained unclear Wednesday, as state transportation officials noted that Trump's proposal could put more pressure on them to raise taxes, fees, and tolls just to qualify for a share of his infrastructure program. He did not provide a roadmap on how to achieve that or give specifics on how it would be funded. The Republican president said only that every federal dollar should be leveraged by partnering with state and local governments and, where appropriate, tapping into private sector investment. But a 6-page summary of Trump's plan, which was widely but unofficially distributed ahead of his speech, indicates that Trump is envisioning a significant shift of financial responsibility. And that was the lunch break for today. I'm Bri Walling. For your twice daily news fix, head over to the Naples Herald YouTube channel and subscribe. Leave us a comment to let us know your thoughts on the news or what you'd like to hear about. The lunch break airs Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. right here at naplesherald.com. And don't forget to check out our morning report that also airs Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.